This show should be fun tonight. You might have to set the DVR because there's lots of great basketball to watch. If you missed it, it's their first sit-down together with Harvey Levin, TMZ on Fox, Rivals, Friends, and Icons. Here's what they said about their Mount Rushmore.
I would put Clint on it. Clint Eastwood was always my hero, my inspiration. He was one of those guys, just like Rich Park in bodybuilding, that spent time with me and talked to me. The fourth guy you have to come up with. I think I already came up with.
I think it goes to Bruce. He's a very multifaceted guy. He can do drama and comedy and whatever, and all the same. But he was in quite a few seminal action films that really, like Die Hard's a classic, and those things don't go away.
It's hard to debate Bruce Willis off this list, but everyone's going to have their own. The Clint Eastwood one, I just think that's generational. And who are we to argue with Schwarzenegger, right? Like, that's his guy. That was his hero. But again, we grew up in a different time. I mean, I watch Clint Eastwood movies, but he's not on my Mount Rushmore.
Well, we've never got a chance or the honor to sit down and interview Stallone, but we did with Arnold. And if you want to see the funniest video ever, if you got nothing to do and you're scrolling and you're bored, go to YouTube and just look up COVINO Rich, Arnold, and we're interviewing him, and I can't stop staring at his eyebrows because they're all over the place. Like, dude had like...
Are you going to be able to handle this special? Because now he's got gray beard and gray eyebrows.
Dude, his eyebrows were all over the place. It was like when we interviewed Reggie Jackson, he had terrible nose hair. And if you see that interview, I'm just staring at his nose the whole time.
If you want to see what a ninny is, what a ninny Rich is in real life, or what a ninny is, it's Rich Davis. It's Rich. When we interviewed Arnold, because you could see how flustered he is because he can't stop staring at Arnold's eyebrows the whole time. But again, that's on YouTube. That was at the Arnold Classic when we interviewed him. But who's on your Mount Rushmore, Rich? You're such an 80s kid as far as action movies and that sort of genre.
Yeah, I feel like my action movies are late 80s, early 90s. I always keep saying, I'm a kid of the 80s. But if you were born in roughly 1980, then... You're more of a kid of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but these movies replayed all the time.
No, but you know what movies hit me hard? You could say, are you serious? You're going to put this guy up there with Stallone and Arnold?
Oh, right, I know. The Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem?
No.
He should be on this list.
By the way, Spot just pulled up the video. I'm so awkward. Oh no.
Look at Rich. He's fixated on his gray Michael Stray hairs, his gray eyebrows.
He doesn't look up half the time because he's afraid to look.
I look at Arnold and I look down immediately. Like, oh, yeah.
You got to see it on YouTube. Just search COVINO and Arnold.
How embarrassing. All right, so on my Mount Rushmore, I'll make it quick. I'll make it snappy. I think one, you're going to say, ooh, good one, credibility. And the other one, you're going to say, really? The really one is a guy that my grandfather and I would rent his VHS tapes on a Friday night when I was dumped off at Grandma and Grandpa's house. Remember when your parents would dump you off at Grandma and Grandpa's house?
Yeah, dump us off.
Go to Hollywood Video, get a couple VHS tapes.
They pick us up like 2 days later, dump us off at Grandma's.
Dump.
For me, you could say this guy's a weirdo, but as a kid, I thought he was so cool. Steven Seagal.
I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
Oh, man.
I'm going to take you to
the bank. And then he ran.
The blood bank.
Hard to Kill, Mark for Death, Above the Law. All great 3-word titles. Then there was Under Siege where the girl popped out of the cake. That was nice. But I was a huge Seagal fan. And the other person I'm putting on my Mount Rushmore with Arnold, Stallone, Seagal.
Seagal is... He ran so funny. I know that's like the funny thing looking back. It's the viral thing. Like, have you ever seen Steven Seagal on a running scene?
Have you ever seen him on like some martial art mats where he touches someone and they flip in the other direction?
I got a different answer for you, but let me hear your fourth.
My fourth, it's hard to argue. Sweet, sweet Keanu
Thank
Reeves.
you.
Keanu
Sweet Keanu.
He was going to be mine as well.
The reason Rich says sweet Keanu is because, not to name drop, but we're good at it. We had Carmen Electra on our show many times. And she was sitting on my lap, right? And we asked her.
That part? No, that's not true.
Well, in my mind, she was. And we asked her, we did ask her, what was it like to work with? No. We asked her, who was someone you always wanted to get with that you never got with? And she said, oh, Sweet, sweet Keanu.
He turned her down.
Yeah, she said she reached out to him or tried, and he was like, no, I can't.
Danny J, can you imagine
too
that?
busy.
Can you imagine Keanu Reeves turned down Carmen Electra?
In her primo days.
And all the cool stories about him and fans.
Oh,
and,
he's the best.
Oh,
yeah,
he's the best.
helping strangers like hitchhikers,
Yeah.
giving them rides 2 hours
Or
away.
like you would hear like,
Smart
oh,
idea.
a bus broke down and he got
Yeah.
everyone a
He
ride.
is
Like,
such a beautiful soul.
How about Point Break? What would you do?
That's how
Break,
I bonded
John Wick.
with my
Matrix.
in-laws, remember?
Matrix.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
girl's dad. He likes surfing, so I just talked about that movie. For
I
10
love
minutes.
that. By the way, in the special tonight with Arnold and Stallone, they were so competitive, they would actually compete over the kills they had in their movies, which I think John Wick probably beats them all.
John Wick is the most ridiculous yet awesome gun scenes. Like, and you ever see Keanu do the training? Like those YouTube videos of him doing the gun training? Guy's insane. So I got Stallone and Arnold. They're the automatics, and my two additions are sweet Keanu Reeves,
I won't debate
and
that.
my cheesy one is Seagal, just because it reminds me of watching, corny movies with my grandpa.
I
Under
wish I
Siege
would've-
2.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of the Keanu answer, but my two will be, I'm going with Big Mike, Bruce Lee, man. Grew up watching all his kung fu movies. Not Bruce Lee Roy. He's the master. Bruce Lee.
Who's the master?
I watched all his movies. He fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Yeah.
bro.
I have one that I don't think anybody has mentioned. Harrison Ford.
Oh,
Yeah. Growing up
my
with The
God.
Fugitive, Blade Runner.
Well,
How about this one?
Get off my plane.
Yeah. No, he was
Come on,
he
Indiana
was-
Jones?
Yeah,
It's
he
an
was
action
badass.
hero.
you know
It's
what?
about guns, or if they use guns, or do they fight with their hands? Like
By the way,
Archaeologist.
I just, you know what?
But he
He's
carries
such
a gun.
a well-rounded actor.
Yeah.
I don't look at Harrison Ford as an action star, but how could you not?
I mean, listen,
are we considering him?
Fugitive,
Oh,
Indiana Jones.
dude,
you know who
think
said it
of
too?
The
Bursch.
Fugitive.
Bursch said it
Blade
too.
Runner?
Did he? Okay.
Bursch said it. Harrison Ford.
I hate to say this, Danny G. I'm changing my fourth answer because I was going to say, how are we leaving Tom Cruise off this list?
Tom Cruise is on mine.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm changing my line. It's Covino here. I'm going with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
and Bruce Lee, dude. Bam!
Tom Cruise runs better than Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he
That
does.
is
in
true.
every
Definitely
movie.
does.
Sprinting.
In every movie. So what's yours, Iowa Sam?
Well, okay, so here's mine. Tom Cruise is 60 years old now, and he's still making like huge blockbusters. And you could argue, if anything, he's not really doing any more dramatic films. He's doing nothing but action films.
Right.
So he's definitely on there. I have Keanu Reeves. I have Arnold, and I'm going to throw an old favorite of mine, Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan. More of a martial artist. He was a stuntman.
Yeah.
You don't see him with guns a lot, but you see him just taking down fools left and right. Rumble in
Love
the Bronx
Jackie
is one of my
Chan.
favorite movies of all time.
Now, I'm sure some people are thinking it. I don't want to take all the answers, but is it too obvious an answer, or do we not respect his acting game, Dwayne The Rock Johnson? I mean, he's in a movie. He's pretty badass, no?
Nah. Well, a lot of the guys we're talking about are real ass kickers. Not all of them, but I'm surprised no one mentioned Van Damme because when I think of that genre of Stallone and Schwarzenegger, I think of him, but he's not on my list. Danny G, who's on your list?
I would go with Clint Eastwood because of the Dirty Harry movies.
Wow, really?
As a little kid, I just
Yeah.
thought he was a badass with that big gun. Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise,
Oh.
Arnold, and then I will give an honorable mention, Russell Crowe. He's been in some cool action movies.
So you're taking Stallone off your Mount Rushmore?
Well, it's because you guys,
Oh, wow.
you guys have him on there.
Okay,
So
that's fine. Let's go to Ted in South Texas. What's up, Teddy?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, man?
Mine is Gina Davis. Gina Davis from The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Gina Davis?
I put Rich Davis before Gina
From
Davis.
A League of Their Own?
But nothing against Gina Davis.
Dan Byer, what you got, man?
Wally Zerbiak.
That's so dumb. Perfect. Oh, I love that. Perfect. Hey, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Let's go to Mike in Washington State. What's up, Mikey?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, man? Who's on your Mount
mine
Rushmore?
are, a little bit old school. I'm going way back. We're going John Wayne, and then an international superstar who did his own stunts for like 30, 40, 50 years, Jackie Chan.
He's with you, Io Sam. Jackie Chan is a legend. I mean, he fought Bruce Lee. He's in Bruce Lee movies.
You know,
I'm a garbage.
So, and he's funny. So that's a great answer too. I'm surprised. You know how Mike came in here and
who?
Mike, who runs this place, he was like Sigourney Weaver.
Is that who that was?
How about Uma Thurman. You know, she should be considered too if we're going to throw Sigourney Weaver in the conversation.
About Antonio Banderas. Charles Bronson.
What about Will Smith?
What about Chuck Norris?
Will Smith is an underrated one.
Chuck Norris.
No one said Chuck Norris.
Nobody said
Chuck Norris hasn't been in that many movies.
Before Will Smith's wife makes him look like a chump, and
Roundhouse
before
Kick.
he's slapping Chris Rock, we all love Will Smith. So let's not play it up like, before slap.
Will Smith has been in some huge action movies.
I know,
but he also had range.
Independence Day.
We're also forgetting about Nick Cage.
Wow.
Whoa. Who? Where? Why? I never forget about Nick Cage, ever. But it's
Con
a
Air?
fun question, and we have to respect the guys who
Ghost Rider
started
ruined
it and their answers. You know, we all have our own. We all have our favorites. You know, we nodded everyone from Dolph Lundgren to, I'll throw it out there, Action Jackson himself, Carl Weathers. You know, we have to respect what these two guys, and they started the whole thing, what they say. And they said Clint Eastwood and Bruce Willis. But
Bruce Willis is a great answer.
that is a great answer.
Because the Die Hard alone is one of the greatest action movies of all time.
And he put his own twist to action star.
And keep in mind, if you watch the
He
documentary,
wasn't a muscle-bound action star either.
If you watch the documentary on Netflix, The Movies That Made Us, they talk about when Die Hard came out, they did not want to put Bruce Willis on the poster and the promotional stuff because everyone thought
The guy from Moonlighting?
yeah, like the romance guy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he totally showed you a different side of himself. Sort of like how Tom Hanks was like the corny sitcom fun guy.
Right, right.
And then he became Tom Hanks. Let me give you one that he's so unconventional, but he may have more action movies than most over the last decade or so.
Really?
Liam Neeson.
That's a great answer.
Because
I like that.
he doesn't seem like it, but when you think about volume of movies, he's
love-
probably had like five.
The first Take-In was mind-blasting.
I have a set of
what?
skills.
Yeah.
The 10th one, not so much.
You're like, wait a second. He's blindfolded in the trunk of a car, and he figured it out?
Yeah, go, he
That's
hears
some
the
action.
birds. Oh, he heard train tracks. Make a right.
That is good. That's a good one. How about the 007s? Sean Connery,
Oh, yeah, we forgot all about
Daniel
those.
Craig.
You
Daniel
know,
Craig's great.
we're naming some. We're just trying to see if you would change your answer, giving you more ideas. And we're also forcing to figure out who you'd put in your top four. I don't like Mount Rushmore conversations because they've been so overdone.
Yeah.
But that's what they discussed on this special tonight. Rivals, friends, and icons.
And there's
Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
There's something else I'm looking forward to with this special. They talk about how there were times in the 80s, and I've heard these stories where they almost tried to jokingly sabotage each other.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you know, friendly competition where I think there was one point where Arnold put the word out there like he wanted a movie just so Stallone took it, and it was Stallone's worst movie.
Which one was that? Like
Don't throw Mama from the train or something? I don't know.
Or My Mom Will Shoot, or
Yeah, Stop or My Mom Will
There
Shoot.
you
That's
go.
the one.
Is
Yeah.
that the one?
Adventures in Babysitting? No, that was not the one.
So again, you could add to the list.
Elizabeth
Want to
Shue.
see what you think? Maybe we're forgetting somebody. Hit us up at Covino and Rich. Dan Byer, do you got one?
I was just going to say this because I may be the perfect guy since I don't watch a lot of movies.
You are
I mean,
you're the
stop
perfect
right
guy.
there.
Yeah,
He was-
you're the
he was-
perfect guy.
Well, I was thinking The Rock, and then Covino's like, no.
I don't know.
You know what it is about The Rock? He doesn't have leading man energy.
Oh, wow.
Like, I like Bautista better in his movies, to be honest.
What about Jason Statham?
Ooh, easy in
Yes,
this conversation.
absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah.
You
He
guys
does
just
nothing
mentioned
but action movies.
Yeah, so that would be
No, he's definitely. I bet you there's so many people in their car right now. Like, what about Statham?
You know
For
who,
sure.
You know who does nothing for me, and I guess maybe it's not for me anyway. But action star that does nothing for this guy, Vin Diesel. I feel like it's just a big lug. Like I watch those Fast and the Furious movies for the action here and there, but I'm like, what's the appeal? It just seems like a.
What was that? Triple X?
Watch, he's gonna kick my ass.
Now, this dude has been in some corny roles. He doesn't make the list, but it's his birthday today. We got to shout out John Cena.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think he's great.
John
in
Cena's
movies.
got to do something to his hairline. I saw him at WrestleMania, and he has like all the hair up front, but he got the bald spot. You know, there's three guys.
It's called topics, Rich. He
What
needs
about,
a-
what about Wesley Snipes? Anyone say that?
Oh, good one.
Yo, Passenger 57?
Blade.
Oh,
Demolition Man.
Yo,
That's a
Wesley
good one.
Snipes is a great answer. Didn't he get in legal trouble there or something?
He did. Taxes.
Yo,
Worst part of the game.
You
What
said
are those?
You said it's John Cena's birthday. There's three guys that turned 47 today, and I want you to tell me if you think they seem the same age. Three guys that turned 47 today. Tell me if you feel like they seem, around like they went to high school together. John Cena, born on the same day as John Oliver, born on the same day as Cal Penn.
Cal Penn seems the most youthful.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Brown don't frown.
It's just how it is. I'm older than all those guys. You would never think that.
John Cena. Yeah, John Oliver, because
Spanish don't vanish, bro.
Because John Oliver has some gray and he's like a sophisticated Brit.
And
I think he
George
seems older.
Lopez is also 47. No,
No way. It's his birthday,
It
though.
is, yeah. 63, I think.
That fool's 63 years old.